Hello, Internet. This is Chris, level9sports.com. Today we're talking about level gloves, and there are a bunch of different models of level gloves. We've got about 40 or 50 different models of level gloves. So we're not going to go over every specific model, and every specific model is not going to have its own video. We're going to go over just the general types of level gloves and the features that you might find in these different gloves, and then as well what types of gloves are best for what purposes. So we'll start out with a big extended gauntlet glove like this. This is kind of when you think of a ski or a snowboard glove or mitten, you think of something like this. This is a mitten, obviously, because it has just one chamber. But it has the extended gauntlet that will come all the way up over your forearm, and you can cinch it down so that if there's powder or if the snow is just wet or whatever, you won't be getting that inside the sleeves of your jacket. The gloves of this type, you can tell that the fabric on this is a synthetic fabric. The gloves of this type will either be Membratherm Plus or Goretex. Goretex is a little bit more breathable and a little bit more waterproof, but either way, the Membratherm is also very waterproof, breathable. The Goretex is just better, so if you want the best of the best, get a Goretex glove. This particular glove is a level butterfly, which is the women's version, and the men's version is called a fly, which means that this actually has a built-in wrist protector pad here. This is a hard piece of plastic that goes under the wrist part of the glove, and when you cinch it on, it gives you a little bit of protection. So if you take a fall, especially for snowboarders that are falling with their hands towards the ground, this type of glove can help you keep your wrist from breaking. Moving on. Next type of glove we have is a racing style glove. Now, racing style gloves will have a few race specific features. Notably, they're going to have some padding on the fingers because when you're doing slalom or even when you're doing GS, you're going to bash some gates sometimes. And so you don't sprain your fingers or you don't break your hand. The little padding goes a long way, believe me, especially when it's cold. And then as well, most of the racing gloves are going to have a plastic print on the palm, silicone print rather, so that you can grip your pole. A little bit more white knuckle of a grip. It's really just adds some friction between you and the pole grip. Racing gloves are usually going to be leather, because leather is it's generally thought of as a little bit nicer of a material than either Goretex or Membratherm. Any leather glove, if you treat it with some leather treatment, it'll be extremely waterproof and extremely breathable. Moving on, that's a race glove. Next type of glove we have is this is what people call like a half-pipe glove or a terrain part glove. It has a really low profile. It doesn't go up your wrist very high like a more traditional glove. It's pretty low profile, and it's also pretty low bulk, so it's not going to be providing the maximum warmth. But these types of gloves are usually pretty cool. I mean, from a fashion standpoint, they don't look like your Gordini mitts that you had when you were 5 years old. They look like something cool that you'd want to wear. And as well, they're made for people who are, maybe building jumps with shovels, or maybe, whatever, strapping in and out of your snowboard 20 times a day to hike up a half pipe. You don't need a really heavy glove. You just need something that'll give you some dexterity and give you some waterproofing. That's what this type of glove is. Level, this is a unique thing. I haven't seen any other companies do this except for Level. This is called an over mitt or an over glove, which the purpose of this is just a really hollow chamber. It's really an exaggerated size. So this is like a men's medium, but Michael Jordan could put his hand in here. The purpose of this is this fits over your gloves. So if you're super frigid day and your regular mitts or your regular gloves just aren't doing the job, and you need something that will keep the elements out even a little bit more, this is a good choice. Another thing that these are probably used for more than anything is for people who are doing a lot of photography on the mountain, or for people who play with their phones or iPods a lot. These things are really slip on and off. So for people who, you might ski to a point and then, stand there with the camcorder and record the rest of your family come down. This is a pretty good choice for that, because when you're skiing, you can slip them on. As soon as you want to, have some more dexterity and play around with some electrical stuff, you can slip them off really easy. That's an overglove. The next type of glove this is just a strictly leather glove. Now, it differs a little bit from a racing glove, because the racing gloves have some, extra padding and extra this and that. A standard just leather glove like this, they are really, really warm. They're not that breathable, but they are really warm, and they're fine for skiing. This is also just a good glove to, go around the town in, to drive your kids to school. This is going to provide enough fashion mixed with function that if you wear it outside of the ski resort, you'll still be fine. And then the last type of glove that we've got is even thinner than the park glove. This is what we call a spring glove. Spring gloves really don't provide any warmth at all. They do provide some waterproofing on the palm, so that when you put your hand down on the slush, it doesn't immediately seep through. But a spring glove is going to be really light. It's going to be pretty much slip on, slip off, low bulk, and it's going to be obviously made for spring and warm conditions. That's pretty much the gist of leveled glove lines. There are probably a few features and things that might have gotten grazed over, because this was such a massive video for 50 different models of gloves at once. But in general, this will give you a good idea of what you're looking for. All this and more at level9sports.com. Thanks.